it seemed like there was resistance to that movie.
Oh yeah, no, there was,
which I thought was very strange. There was like Hollywood resistance to that movie. Like people didn't like that you were making it. It seemed like
yeah, there was a lot of opposition to it, and I don't know. I think if you ever hit on that subject matter, you're gonna get people going, because
of course
it's big subject matter. And then you go away and you think, no, I was wrong. I mean, that's insane thinking. I'm paranoid. I imagined that stuff. That couldn't be the reason for why so-and-so was acting like, could it? And then you find out later on the track that you are exactly on track with a lot of this stuff. Not specifically on track, but that you could, that some of your worst nightmares were real.
After being blacklisted for years, Mel Gibson just pulled off one of the wildest comebacks Hollywood's ever seen. Out of nowhere, old footage from the 90s started popping up online. Clips of him calling out the dark side of the industry and even mentioning Epstein way before anyone dared to. No one thought Mel would ever end up looking like the good guy in this story, especially with all the messy headlines tied to his name. But here's the twist. People are now saying that while he's made mistakes, he was never one of those people caught up in the darker side of those files. Word around town says his career got buried because he refused to take part in some disturbing behind-the-scenes stuff. He's been warning everyone for years, and looking back, it's like he was trying to tell us the truth through his work.
I was in my mid-20s.
Right.
The first time I really came over here. You know, I had a whole bunch of weird paranoid suspicions about what the hell was going on, because there was a lot of stuff I couldn't understand.
Right.
And nobody was really bothering to explain it to me. They don't.
He even backed the film Sound of Freedom, which was meant to open people's eyes to what's really going on. And now it's all clicking together. It's starting to make a lot more sense, because what that movie showed us might not even scratch the surface of what's really happening out there. Now, with Epstein back as the internet's hottest topic, millions of files have exploded online. Over 3 million documents, photos, and videos purportedly exposing high-profile figures doing things no one ever imagined. It's chaos out there, and people can't stop talking about it. What's even crazier is, those leaked files aren't the full story. There's still more evidence being kept under wraps, and insiders claim it's so explosive it could shake the whole country to its core. People are saying these files had some seriously disturbing stuff involving powerful figures in situations that were completely inappropriate to even describe. It's so bad that a lot of the details haven't even been made public because they're that unsettling. The more people dig into it, the more questions pop up, like how deep does this really go? Many believe there's been serious wrongdoing that's being swept under the rug to protect those at the top. One shocking detail comes straight from Epstein himself. In an email to his circle, he said, "They are like shrimp. You throw away the top, keep the body, girl." That one line alone sent chills through everyone who read it. And if that wasn't enough, these documents just confirmed people's worst suspicions. Yet other than Epstein himself, no one big has been held accountable. Now the internet is buzzing with theories that he might not even be gone. And then there's Ghislaine Maxwell, reportedly living way too comfortably behind bars with access to luxuries most inmates could only dream of. It sounds unreal, but it's all been reported.
Surely that couldn't be, because a whole place can't be like, Weird Town, where the stranger wanders in and all the people are in the bar and they all shut up when he looks at them and they tell you don't go to the house on the hill, and it's like that.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the kicker. Remember that Epstein allegedly purchased over 330 gallons of sulfuric acid back in 2018. People can't stop asking why. What was he planning to do with that much acid? Because when you're buying it in that kind of quantity, it's definitely not for anything normal. People online have been going wild trying to figure out why anyone would need that much sulfuric acid. Sure, it's used for industrial work, but the timing of Epstein's massive purchase has everyone side-eyeing the situation. The more people look into it, the more suspicious it gets, especially knowing what was already going on in his life at the time.
Critics have pointed out that with Epstein's track record, this kind of move doesn't exactly scream innocent. There's no official link between the acid and any proven crime, but get this. Reports say he ordered it the exact same day the FBI launched a major case against him. That's way too much of a coincidence to just brush off. And right when all this madness was making headlines, Mel Gibson's name started popping up again. Sounds unbelievable, right? For years, Hollywood painted Mel as the villain, making him look like the problem, when now it's looking more and more like the opposite might be true. People are finally starting to connect the dots. Remember his 2004 hit The Passion of the Christ? He had to fund that movie completely on his own because every major studio turned him down. Why? Because, according to him, the industry didn't want anything to do with a movie that focused on faith and truth. That says a lot about who was really trying to silence who. But here's the wild part. Right after all his success, Mel Gibson got hit again with a wave of anti-Semitic accusations. People started saying he was spreading hate toward Jewish people, and the media ran with it like wildfire. And now, out of nowhere, an old video just resurfaced, Mel talking about the dark, twisted things he claimed to have seen when he first entered Hollywood at just 25 years old.
It does rip your life to pieces.
Does it?
If you'll let it.
Yeah.
And it's always pounding at the walls.
Yeah.
These little guys, these little heathens with no soul downstairs with horns on their head with a battering ram trying to like beat your walls in.
Yeah.
He said he couldn't believe what he was witnessing, and what shocked him most was how everyone around him acted like it was completely normal. Mel was confused and disgusted, but instead of listening to him, the press tore him apart. Back in 1998, he spoke up about things that, looking back, sound a lot like what's in those Epstein files. But the media called him crazy and turned him into a joke. He was blacklisted before cancel culture even had a name. No major studio would touch him, and his reputation went up in flames overnight. The only time he managed to climb back into the spotlight was when he poured his own money into The Passion of the Christ. No backing, no Hollywood support, just his conviction to make it happen. And let's be honest, Hollywood's been compared to modern-day Sodom and Gomorrah for a reason. The deeper people dig, the uglier it gets. But the story doesn't end there, not even close. After Hollywood shut Mel Gibson out, they didn't waste time filling his spot with people they could easily control. One of those people was reportedly Jim Caviezel, the same actor who played Jesus in The Passion of the Christ. Crazy, right? No one knows exactly what went down after that. But word is, Jim got a front row seat to how dark things really were behind the cameras. Whatever he saw must have shaken him up, because soon after, he and Mel teamed up again. This time, not just to entertain, but to expose. Together, they brought the world Sound of Freedom, a film produced by Mel and directed and led by Jim himself.
I mean, this is a bizarre place. The social contract. You can't get mad. You can't get mad. You can't let it get you, because you have to make a deal with everyone else, and it's almost unspoken that you are going to be over at some point.
I mean, as a matter of interest, do you think it's easier because you're an outsider who came in?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because it was glaring to me, because I was
And here's the shocker. This movie blew up at the box office, making over $250 million off a small $14.5 million budget. That's not just success, that's a movement. The movie didn't shy away from the truth either. It tackled the ugly reality of the trafficking world head-on. It starts in Honduras, where a struggling father, Roberto Aguilar, is deceived by a woman named Giselle, a former beauty queen pretending to be a talent scout. She tricks him into letting his children, Miguel and Rocio, join what looks like a modeling opportunity. But things quickly take a dark, heartbreaking turn. In the movie, the story takes a dark turn when the kids are kidnapped and sold into trafficking. Jim's character, portraying a federal agent, starts hunting down the people behind these horrific crimes and manages to rescue Miguel from the hands of ruthless traffickers. But when he discovers that Rocio is still being held captive in Colombia, he makes a bold move. He quits his job completely, breaking through all the red tape and government limits just to save her. Determined and fearless, he joins forces with a few powerful allies, including Vampiro, a former cartel accountant who knows the underworld inside out, and several Colombian contacts who risk everything to help. Together, they pull off an intense undercover sting operation in Cartagena, posing as wealthy buyers to expose a massive trafficking network that's been hiding in simple sight. At first, audiences thought it was just a powerful drama, but now, with everything that's come out about Epstein, the story hits way differently. People are starting to notice eerie similarities.
fake modeling gigs, secret parties, and shadowy elites pulling the strings behind it all. It's almost like the movie was revealing the truth long before the world was ready to face it. After Sound of Freedom blew up worldwide, the industry didn't stay quiet. Oh no, it went into panic mode.
And that's insane thinking. I'm paranoid. I imagined that stuff. That couldn't be the reason for why so-and-so was acting like, could it? And then you find out later on the track that you were exactly on track. With a lot of this,
Reports started flying around that major studios and certain execs were furious about how successful the film had become. It wasn't just about box office numbers, it was about the message. The film was waking people up, forcing them to ask uncomfortable questions about what really happens behind closed doors in Hollywood. Suddenly, Mel Gibson and Jim Caviezel found themselves under heavy fire again. Critics tried to label the movie as controversial and exaggerated, even though much of what it showed mirrored real-life cases that had already been exposed. Some insiders even claimed that both men were warned to stay quiet and move on, but neither of them backed down. They kept hinting that Sound of Freedom was only scratching the surface of what they truly knew. People online started connecting dots, saying this could be the reason Mel had been pushed out of Hollywood for so long, because he knew too much. The man's been trying to expose the truth for decades, and now it looks like he finally found someone brave enough to help him tell it on screen. And get this, rumors are swirling that Mel's next project might dig even deeper into the things the elite never wanted the public to see. If that's true, then Hollywood's about to get very uncomfortable, and the truth might finally be impossible to hide.
Any place there's a boss with underlings in any corporation or any industry, you would have a type of politics that goes on that can slide in between appropriate ethics and decorum to inappropriate behavior to the point of harassment and predatory behavior.
Not long after the buzz around Sound of Freedom reached its peak, strange things started happening to anyone connected to the project. Some people claimed that emails were being hacked, others said they were being followed or threatened. Even Jim Caviezel mentioned in an interview that certain powerful forces were trying to silence him, but he wasn't backing down. He said, "When you shine light in dark places, the darkness fights back." That line gave everyone chills. Meanwhile, Mel Gibson stayed out of the spotlight, but those close to him say he's been quietly working behind the scenes on something even bigger. Rumors suggest he's putting together a documentary that goes beyond the film, something that directly exposes real operations and names tied to the trafficking networks. Insiders claim he's been meeting with whistleblowers and investigators who want to speak up but are too scared to go public alone. And here's where it gets even more intense. People online are saying that some of the names from those leaked Epstein documents might actually appear in this upcoming project. If that turns out to be true, Hollywood's elite are in for a rude awakening. The internet's already in a frenzy, with fans claiming this could be the movie that finally breaks the silence once and for all. One thing's for sure, if Mel really goes through with it, the industry won't be able to cover it up this time. The truth's already out there, and it's only getting louder.
That does not carry the day. Complicity is also complicity. The people who know, well, look, this is how we do business, and that's what it's got to be done. I'm sorry it's like that. So beware. That's also present without a doubt, but it does not carry the day. There's also people that were afraid to speak out, who were victims, that did not go forward, that signed.
Now, as rumors about Mel Gibson's upcoming project keep spreading, Hollywood's tension is reaching a boiling point. Some insiders say studio execs are terrified because if Mel actually releases what people think he has, it could expose connections that go far beyond entertainment. Word is there are politicians, billionaires, and global power players who might have a lot to lose if those names come out. Online communities are lighting up with theories, connecting dots between Epstein's network, secret industry events, and the strange disappearances of certain witnesses over the years. It's like every time someone tries to speak out, something mysterious happens. Careers ruined overnight, social media accounts wiped clean, even entire projects suddenly pulled for legal reasons. The timing of it all feels way too convenient. Meanwhile, Mel's supporters are rallying harder than ever. They're saying this isn't about fame or money anymore. It's about justice and truth. Many believe that the same Hollywood system that once tried to silence him is now panicking because he refuses to play by their rules.
But the larger question, is there a culture of complicity in Hollywood where women are afraid to speak up because they'll be blacklisted? Men are afraid to speak up because either they're out of the same fear or they just think, well, this is the way the system works.
I think there are people that say, hey, this is how it works, pure and simple. And this is why I got into it, and this is why I have power. This is how it works, and you have to understand that.
What's wild is that for the first time in decades, regular people are paying attention to what's really going on behind the red carpets and flashing lights. And if this new project truly drops the way people expect, it could change the entire conversation around Hollywood forever. Because once the truth hits the screen this time, there won't be any turning back. Now it feels like the storm is just beginning. The closer Mel Gibson's rumored expose gets to completion, the louder the backlash becomes. Major media outlets are already running hit pieces, calling it a conspiracy project, while others claim it's too dangerous to ever see the light of day. But every time someone tries to discredit them, even more people start paying attention. It's like the harder they push back, the more suspicious it all looks.
Behind the scenes, reports say security around Mel is tightened up. Some sources even claim he's hired private investigators to protect key files and footage, just in case anyone tries to make them disappear. And apparently, a few insiders from the Sound of Freedom team are helping him gather new evidence, determined to expose everything they couldn't reveal before.
In the beginning, you're going to feel the pain of the father taking his kids, who was approached by a recruiter saying, your kids can be models, they can be in movies. Father dresses in a suit, takes them to this room, and he takes the kids there. They're excited, put the kids in the room, and the girl says, come back to pick them up at 7 o'clock. He says, what do you mean? Come back to pick them up at 7 o'clock. He leaves, comes back 7 o'clock, no one's there.
Shut down.
That's how the movie starts. It's disturbing, it's emotional, it's tough, it's painful.
What's wild is that fans are already calling this Hollywood's reckoning, saying it's only a matter of time before the walls come crashing down. There's talk that when the documentary drops, it could include first-hand accounts, unreleased footage, and hidden connections between some of the most untouchable figures in the entertainment world. People online are counting down the days, waiting to see if Mel actually dares to release it. And if he does, it might just flip the entire industry upside down. Because one thing's for sure, this time, the truth isn't staying buried, and no amount of power or money will be able to silence it. Now, with all eyes on Mel Gibson, the tension in Hollywood is reaching a breaking point. Sources say certain execs and insiders are desperately trying to distance themselves from anyone even remotely connected to the upcoming documentary. Some have reportedly deleted old photos, scrubbed social media accounts, and gone completely off the radar. It's like everyone's trying to cover their tracks before the truth comes crashing down. Meanwhile, whispers have started circulating that a few brave insiders have already come forward to testify. People who were deep inside the machine and finally had enough. These aren't random online voices either. Some are producers, assistants, and even former agents who claim they witnessed things they could never unsee. They're allegedly giving Mel access to documents, recordings, and behind-the-scenes evidence that could make headlines worldwide. Fans are already calling it the Great Unmasking, saying it might finally reveal the dark reality the public was never meant to know. What's even crazier, rumor has it Mel plans to release the project independently, without studio backing, to make sure no one can censor or shut it down. Every leak, every rumor, every silent retreat from the elites only makes people more convinced that something huge is coming. Hollywood's polished image is starting to crack, and this time, no amount of spin or PR can hide it. The countdown has officially begun, and the industry's secrets are hanging by a thread. At this point, the entire entertainment world feels like it's holding its breath. Every day, new leaks and whispers seem to surface, each one more shocking than the last. Some say private emails are being quietly exchanged among top executives, warning them to prepare for damage control. Others claim lawyers are already drafting statements just in case the documentary exposes things too explosive to ignore. The fear is real, and it's spreading fast.
Meanwhile, Mel Gibson's team has reportedly gone completely silent. No official statements, no interviews, nothing. It's like they're moving in total secrecy, waiting for the perfect moment to drop the bomb. That is saying he's gathering final pieces of evidence, videos, testimonies, and hidden files that could finally make the puzzle complete. People close to him say he's fully aware of the risks, but refuses to back down this time.
My contention is, when I was making it, it was like, you're making this film, and the idea was that we're all responsible for this, that his sacrifice was for all mankind, and that for all our ills and all the things in our fallen nature, it was a redemption. So, and I believe that, I actually am, I was born into a Catholic family. I'm very Christian in my beliefs, so I do actually believe this stuff to the full. So depicting that was an honor, but it was also, you got the.
And fans, they're losing their minds online. Social media is filled with countdowns, theories, and wild claims that this film could bring down some of the most powerful names in the world. Whether true or not, the suspense has everyone on edge. Some even believe the silence means it's already finished, just waiting for the green light to go public. If that's the case, the entertainment industry might be facing the biggest shock it's ever seen. Because once this truth finally drops, there's no going back to business as usual. Now, the calm before the storm feels heavier than ever. Hollywood's red carpets and award shows might look glamorous on the surface, but behind the scenes, insiders say fear and paranoia have taken over. Executives are reportedly holding secret meetings, trying to figure out what exactly Mel Gibson has and when he's planning to release it. No one knows who's safe anymore, and the silence from his camp is only making everyone more nervous. Rumors are flying that some big names have already packed up and left Los Angeles, selling homes, moving overseas, or suddenly retiring without explanation. It's strange timing, especially since many of them are the same people whose names appeared in those leaked files. The pattern's too loud to ignore, and the internet is connecting every dot. Meanwhile, smaller filmmakers and whistleblowers are starting to speak out too. They're sharing stories about the manipulation, control, and fear that's been used to keep people quiet for decades. And every new voice that joins in makes the movement stronger. People online are calling this the beginning of Hollywood's biggest downfall ever. They say once Mel drops his project, it'll be the match that lights everything up. The secrets, the corruption, the lies. The entertainment world has built its empire on silence and power. But now that silence is breaking, and once the truth comes roaring out, nothing will ever be the same again. And that brings us to the shocking truth behind it all. This is the reality of the Epstein files. The things that have come out are darker and more twisted than anyone could have imagined, and the reactions online say it all. One comment summed it up perfectly. Reading the Epstein files, it sounds like the billionaires let their own kids get hurt by Epstein and others. Very sick. Another person wrote, Mel's been talking about these conspiracies for years. He even acted in a movie based on one. It's wild to think that what people once brushed off as crazy talk might have had more truth behind it than anyone wanted to admit. And now, with everything finally unraveling, Mel Gibson's story hits completely differently. Was he exposing it all before the rest of the world caught up? And more importantly, could this be the moment that changes his entire career forever? The internet's divided. Some say he's finally getting the recognition he deserves, but others think he's poking a hornet's nest that might be too dangerous to mess with. Either way, one thing's certain, the truth is out there, and it's not going back into hiding. So now, I want to know your thoughts. Do you think Mel really saw all this coming? Could this be his big comeback, or is he risking everything to tell the truth? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like, subscribe, and share button, and make sure to check out the next wild story waiting right here.